Hello, Barry Anderson from Trade Ideas, and today's edition of What Makes This Trade Great. Wow, we had a great one today in the room. NRSN. So, what made it great? Well, first of all, we saw some news. This is the pre-market, that little shaded area here. This is the pre-market. And when we looked at the news, it said that it got U.S. FDA clearance of ALS. So, if you know anything about ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. So it got FDA clearance, okay, for its drug. So there was the pop in the pre-market, but man, look at the way it traded once the market opened. I mean, this is incredibly. It went from 218 all the way up to 715. It showed up on my watch list. My watch list up. There was the alert. Now I have a delay on this on purpose, 15 minutes. I like to see things settle down a little bit. In this particular case, it didn't matter because look at this. It basically settled down, and then at 2:45, at 9:45, it was still only 231 before it really took off. So the other reason, of course, what made it great is the fact that it only has 6 million shares in the float. So, people ask me, well, do I only trade low float stocks? It's not that I only trade, well, I don't put necessarily a filter that prevents me from seeing higher float stocks. The thing is, though, that I'm always going to be very interested in a stock that can go up 300%. Rarely are you going to see a stock that has 100 million or 200 million that is going to go up 300%. But listen, if it did, I would trade a 100 million float stock if it were super active. It just happens, of course, that the only way a stock typically can go up 3 times, 4 times is if it's a low float situation. Now, this may not be dead. I mean, as we speak, right up there is the all-time high, okay? So, this may challenge it later on. My big deal would be to wait to see if there's some more volume, like a volume bar like that on the 15 later on. That could easily take out those highs and keep running. But anyway, what makes this trade great? The news, all about the news, the float, and then once the market opened, it just absolutely exploded. All right, I do want to get back into the trading room. So if you have any questions for me, this is the email address you can use. And I'll open the room tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. I hope to see you then. Bye-bye.